Alright, let's see. So I can stop the Schamburger. We'll start. I don't want to have some music here. What was I going to do for that? There we go, these tracks. There we go. Once some people are here, you're going to have to tell me if it's too loud or not. My impression is that it's a bit loud, so I'm going to turn it down just a notch. Then we're going to remove the overlay. I think we are set up. Hopefully that's big enough that you guys can see it. It's a bit small. Let's see though. We'll have to see if there are any issues. But I think I'm ready to go. Cool, cool. Alright. So this is the map we're working on. We want some more players. And tabs and windows open. Let's close some of this stuff. Steam, Discord, close as well. Alright. Cool. So, I have to try and remember what we were doing here. I think I'm going to make this just a little bit bigger after all. Zoom in. We'll do that. Should help you guys as well. So yeah, as said, let me know if there are issues with the audio, with the video, whatever. Probably going to be some problems. I have to remember what the heck I was doing here. I think I was going through placing resources. So let's just take a look at what I did there. We have objects generation, we're placing swamp filler trees. Reed trees on sandbank, that's fine, that's fine. Town centers, villagers. Scouts are fine. Regicide stuff is fine. What is this stuff here? Create object, birch tree. This was just a test, probably. To see where the neutral land terrain is, I'm assuming. So let's see what happens if I activate that. I should have floods of birch trees wherever this thing neutral land terrain is. So that terrain exists. Cool. Don't need that code. Map-based terrain is a ring around everything, good for neutral res or for starting res, player land. These are just some notes that I wrote myself. So, player land resource 1. Is that just berries? I think we're gonna be a bit... Yeah, let's see what the heck is player land resource 1. That's just a forage. Alright, what I can do is I can open on my other screen that I now have on my laptop. I can look at the constants for resources. We're gonna call it, you know, we're gonna say player land resource 1. Are we gonna really call it that? Alright, player land resource 2, that's, we can just make that gold, honestly. Player land resource 2, so we're going to replace that with gold, because that is effectively going to be gold. There are no other occurrences of that, okay. Now we're going to do the same thing here. I think that's supposed to be stone, so we're going to do that. I was being too clever, I think, when I did some of this stuff. But we don't need that. And we're going to do the same thing for hill resources for now. There are only 2 matches of that as well, we're just going to call that. That's stone. That's gold, so we're gonna do stone. The idea was that I could vary these per like biome or season, but honestly, like gold and stone probably gonna be in the same locations for all of the seasons. I don't really need that. Player land resource 1. That's essentially a forage. We'll make it a forage now, then we can do something with it later. So we're going to make it forage. But we don't need that. Wait, how many occurrences of this we have? We have fruit, bush, DLC. It's the DLC orange bush, isn't it? Orange bush. Count. And that's gold as well, so the fruit can go. And this thing can go as well. That's going to be gold for now, and then we're going to take an actual critical look at what we're doing. So now I've done all of that. Basically, I'm placing some resources close to the player, these things. Actually, we'll go through piece by piece. So we're placing a forage, 1 gold, and 1 stone near the players. And I'm also doing group variants. It's fine. It's fine. I'm giving 1 of each of these, and I'm placing 1 to 3 boars. Then I'm placing another 2 boars that need to be further away. We should also do set circular placement for this thing here. Then we're placing stone on the hills, gold on the hills. So that's the stone and gold on the hills. Which we're seeing, which is good. That's good. And what else are we placing? We're placing gold in the hills, we saw that. Then we're placing orange bush. Orange bushes and gold in the low map-based terrain. Now I feel like low map-based terrain is this area here. Like this area down in these valleys. Are there any areas that are stuck without resources on a typical generation? No, right? Like this area isn't very rich in gold though, we've gotta say. Am I varying? Low map based terrain. Oh, we're not done yet. Nearly yet. Okay, okay. I wanna see. I just want to visually make sense of what I'm placing here. 200, like that, just to see which area of the map this is. We'll use the same seed. So that's this area, as suspected. I should put in some comments. So this was all the player lands. I need to spell lands correctly. Don't actually need to spell it correctly, but I should. Then hills. Then we have lowlands. Doing this area. Is there some group variants? Oh, there is group variants of these two. Good. Okay, so two. 15. Same seed, but you'll see, now we see just the individual ones again. These areas will generally be not so close to players, although they might be somewhat close. Good. Then we have map-based terrain, this area. So we're going to put in a break here as well. It's related to those comments earlier. This is sort of figuring out which part of a typical map are actually covered with this type of a terrain. Right, so those pretty well just is pretty much everywhere. Is that what I wrote down for map-based terrain as well? Least consistent neutral land terrain. Ring around everything. Good for neutral res or far starting res. Player land for starting res. Yeah. Neutral land terrain, swamp res. Okay, okay. Cool, cool. So, well, that was here. So the low map, so we need another comment here to say consistent where? There we go. That's basically what this area is. Was it 3 to start out with? Pretty sure it was, right? Okay, 3. And then we're also placing stone on it, and we're placing forages on it. That's sort of all of this random scattered area. Now this map doesn't really have much in the way of swamp terrain, so we'll need to find a different seed for that stuff once we get there. Alright, so now we have neutral land terrain. Well, we're going to need a comment here as well. We'll do the same thing here. To get an idea of what this terrain is. Sort of also inconsistently scattered around. I should also write inconsistent on the inconsistent lowlands. I don't know if it's even fair to say plains, really. Not really, I think. Probably not really. Are they plains? It's sort of... No, it's actually not plains. It's more of the hill-adjacent areas. But not guaranteed either. Inconsistent neutral areas. What am I placing on them? I'm placing gold, stone, and forages on them. So the lowlands, I did not place stone. But I placed the fruit bushes. All the other areas can have normal bushes here. Cool, cool. And this area is just straight up the swamp. Swamp. What I still need is like scattered deer and so on, right? And scattered boar. I didn't do those things yet. We're gonna have to do those for those sections next, I'd say. So you know what we're gonna do is, this is essentially also part of the swamp area. Now we need a different seed though that actually has a swamp on it. Yeah, see, so the swamp has forage bushes, has some random shorefish. Cool, cool. What are having? This generation has a lot of random mountains. Perfect. Then we have... Alright, so actually let's put in some comments. Swamp. This one needs animals. And actually, we're gonna be putting this message under all. That one needs animals. Boar. This one also still needs more animals, actually, if we're honest. Alright, cool. So then we have fish. Marlin, salmon, good. Then we have straggler trees. These... Are there actually any birch trees in this? I don't think I'm placing birch trees anywhere. Alright, so we place oak trees on the player land terrain. Alright, what we're gonna do with the straggler trees is actually put them in their relevant sections. I would say. So, oak tree, pine tree, birch tree. Then we have pine tree, oak tree, birch tree in a different order, but sure. Or is it the same order even? Pine tree, oak tree, birch tree. I mean, it's the same number of each, so it doesn't really matter. Pine tree, oak tree, birch tree. Oak tree, pine tree, birch tree. Pine tree, oak tree, birch tree on the neutral land terrain, okay. Oh, this is already getting confusing again. Yeah, okay, I already misplaced some things. This says map base terrain, that's a different section. At this point, all I'm really doing is organizing my script. But we'll get to the interesting stuff soon. As always, if there are questions, or if, you know, I can't be heard because I messed up my audio levels, that shouldn't be the case though. I actually spent quite a bit of time adjusting the gain. There is some noise that I haven't been able to filter out yet, but can't get everything done at once. I don't know what I have on my clipboard right now. Not base terrain. I think I just did that. Yeah. Cool. Low map base terrain. That has olive trees, cypress trees. That's fitting with the actual tree types that grow there. Alright, alright. Forage, player lands, hills, lowlands, inconsistent lowlands. Let's go. Straggler trees. I also have not placed relics. I think I should use one of my existing. Put a note down here. We still need to add relics. And other than that, not sure what else the map needs. We'll have to think about that. Maybe eye candy animals. Eye candy animals. Eye candy animals and relics, yeah. We have dead trees for the hills. The hill was pretty high up there, yeah. Let's make sure all the areas have the straggler trees they need. Players have it, hills have some stragglers, lowlands have stragglers, map base terrain has stragglers, neutral land has stragglers. My comment folding is messed up again. The swamp has stragglers. Fish. Alright, and we also need birds. Those basically are eye candy animals, but birds. There we go. Okay. Cool. So if we see now, we should have everything. We have our fish again. Let's double check to make sure that this is not a consistent thing that's happening. Also, honestly, the hills could use more dead trees, or maybe not. Let's generate a different seed. Alright. Lowlands seem a bit better. What trees are we putting in the lowlands again? We are putting olive, cypress, Italian pine. Olive, cypress, or is that an Italian pine? Cypress, Italian pine, I'd say. Buildable space is a bit tricky on this map, but you know, you forge your own path. There are spaces to build. Just take some scouting. And forests can be more or less dense. I think we're doing well. All right, cool. So, animals. But what am I going to use? I should also pull up some sort of map as a random map script pack, resources, comment, random map scripts. Date modified. No, not date modified. What are we going to take as an example script? Maybe something like random river, I think, could be a decent example script. Let me see what I had set up on my other computer. Notepad++, let's see. Over there, I had double Antarctica. No. Hyperrandom, of course. Linear, Arabia, linear, pack, Rivula, trade winds. Gambia, Antarctica. Don't know. Nature, what do I have close to that? Key value strings. Nothing really. Alright, we'll try this. So, let's take a look at sheep place. Oh, we have the sheep is cow thing happening here. Alright, we'll just do our own thing. Although I think I will take something like this. Let's just copy some of this code. Scout. Before we place the forage, or do we place it after that? Forage. After the resources. Go like that. We're gonna place pigs, I think, are what you would keep closest to your town center in temperate environments. DLC pig. Right, it's DLC pig. We did a group variance of 1 for these types of things, so we're gonna give number of objects 2 to R&D 2 to 6. With a group variance of 1. Min distance to players, like 3, but we're gonna do find closest. And then we're gonna also say in distance, like that, I'd say. So if we give each player a pig, we should see it now. There's 1 pig. It could also be more pigs though. 2 pigs. Okay, maybe that's a bit rough to start with so few pigs. Just guarantee that you start with at least some food near the town center. Three pigs, 4 pigs. Of course I said this isn't gonna be fair, so 1 player's 3 pigs minus another player's 4 pigs. I could still make that fair and not use group variance. But for now, each player gets to start with pigs. Then we have the boar. How are we going to handle scattered resources? I did it with the boar, I said these are basically neutral bore, and these are the player ones. So we should do something like far sheep. Sheep. And now we put in some serious variation. Number of objects. One to three groups of 1 to 3 sheep. Using, basically I want to use this code. I guess I don't need a min-distance group placement on this stuff. I probably should have some though. Min-distance group placement, min-distance group placement, min-distance group placement, min-distance players. Cool. Do I need a min-distance group placement on the resources? See, I don't want them to be super clumped up. Although, is that really a problem on a map like this? I think, though, we don't. Like, I'm fine with them touching forests. I'm honestly fine with them touching each other, too. Yeah, you know what? One. We'll go like this. I'll do that everywhere. Pig can have one. I'm going to put this on the boar as well, I'd say. And I'll put it on the sheep. Just so we don't have like sheep and predators on top of each other. The trees don't really need it. The trees don't really need it. The resources don't put this thing on. I want to allow them close to each other. Oh, hey! So, apparently... Sorry, I don't know when you posted your comment. I don't have my second monitor set up quite the right way, but basically... There's... I think what you mean is probably that the attack and armor are messed up, right? And that's because something changed in the most recent patch that's likely should be considered a bug, where instead of multiplying the armor class by 63,500 and whatever, you have to do 256 or 255 again. However, I was trying to fix penguins and I actually didn't get it to work really. In any case, it's something with the calculation of the armor classes has changed. You have to multiply it by something else. And I didn't fully figure it out myself. But maybe we can have a discussion in the RMS Discord or in one of the modding Discords, and someone can actually figure out, what exactly you need to multiply it by to get it to work on the current patch, because there are some other tournaments as well where this would be useful to have it working properly. I was placing some sort of sheep. Alright, skip all this crap. I think we basically want all of this stuff. Set loose grouping. Set guy object only. Put it in there. Let's do that. So we should see some sheep now. Except I'm not really seeing them. Although these are being scaled to map size. Ah, okay, so I'm giving some starting... I see how it is. In that case... I need to do this differently. I need to do this differently. Number of objects 2. Variance 1, and we need to set scaling to map size. Let's try that. Okay, there are some very scattered sheep around. I think if I did, 100 to 300, see it a bit more prominently. And then we have... But I do want people to actually have to look for them, so that's fine. These are... I mean, these things are basically scattered at this point, aren't they? Do I give players some more resources that belong specifically to them, though? Maybe. For now, these actually go on this one here with the consistent neutral areas. That's where that belongs, the sheep and boar. And honestly, the boar are perhaps more important, so I'll place them before the sheep. Something like that. That is, move things around but not change the grand scheme of things. I feel like one more group of sheep near the players would be good. Just to provide a bit of sustain on the food. Because you can get a forage, you can get a pretty big forage. But let's do... We're still gonna do sheep here. And we want number of objects. Alright, we're gonna do number of objects 1, 2, 3 with a variance of 1, or we do no variance. 1 to 3 and number of groups just to guarantee some sort of minimum amount of res. Something like that. Set place for every player. Mid-distance players. We're actually going to just grab this code. And then we go like that. Each player should have now some sheep around their base. So 3 sheep spawn this time. And 1 boar, and the rest you have to scout for neutrally. That's fine by me. Also interesting that the same seed changes so much. Like this is a swamp. Oh, it's not a swamp. It was a swamp. Swamps are still possible though, that's good to know. Okay, cool. So do we give deer on the player starting area as well? Sure, why not? I think is my answer to that. Sure, why not? So let's grab some deer code. And that can just be deer. R&D 2 to 6. Yes. Or do we do something similar to the sheep here, where we do say 3 to 5? 2 to 6 seems like a lot. And then I think we kind of do something like this. This should also place deer on the player lands. Am I saying that they need to find closest? No. Alright, they can be closer or further away, that's fine. How did I do that with the golden stone? I gave them a pretty decent variance. I think that's fine, something like that. I think I can work with this, yeah. Let's keep going. So let's see, anything else that player lands should have? Predators. There are going to be no predators that close to players. We have sheep, cows, stragglers, stone, gold, berries. Perfect. Relics. We're going to need to place relics. When do I place relics? Where's the relic code here? I could place the relics really early after the player resources. Create object relic. This is to keep them from being on tiny islands, but that's not necessary. I don't care that they avoid forests. I don't need them avoiding act areas. I do want a mid-distance group placement. Now, how many relics do I want to place? I should probably... I could scale it by player amount, or I could just go like this. You know, R&D... 4 to 6. And then we're gonna lop off like 5% off of each of these. 33, 33, 43, 47, 49. Small map usually played with 3 players, so this is going to be 5 to 7, R&D 6 to 8, and here we do R&D 7 to 9, else huge map, then we have giant map and ludicrous map, right? Else if gigantic map, gigantic map. Here we do, you know, something like a minimum of 8 for all the players. 8 to 12. Else if ludicrous map. And here we're gonna do number of objects. R&D 1 to 3. Scaling map size, there we go. Something like that for relics. And then we're going to have to take a careful look and see how many relics we actually get and if this worked. One, two, three, four, five. Okay, I need to definitely reduce the relic scatter. What I'm gonna do is just go like this. The relics don't need to be fairly placed. Especially in a giant map, you know, relics should be something you want to sort of scout for and find. Also, I really like this river here. I like the river. 1, 2, 3. Maybe I'll up all of these relic counts. Tiny. What if I just up all these? If I go 5 to 7, 6 to 8, 7 to 9, 8 to 10. Well, I don't know if I should be doing this. Huge map would be what you typically play with full amount of players. 10 to 14. Also, we need to keep them away from players. In distance to players. 25. Set. Set. Circular placement. That we need to do. Honestly, I'd be fine with them landing on these little things, so I think I'm gonna do remove that. Just so that there are, you know, relics in different places in different generations. Like the way the river's looking again. Solid looking river. Now, we should test Ludicrous, just to make sure I didn't do anything ludicrously wrong. This just takes a long time to generate at all. And probably this is too much variance. Huh. That's scaling to map size. Let's try that again. Ludicrous is real slow. Tab and check my stream while this is going on. Sure. Although it's almost a bit too regularly spaced. That would be, it would just be 26 if I did this. You know, we'll do, you know, 20 to 30, something like that. Try that again. I feel like that would be a more reasonable thing to do. Ugh, Ludicrous is so slow. There was also something else I want to check again. So right, these things I'm all placing for every player, 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 for every player. Set scaling to map size. Sure. I'm not seeing straggler trees. Are they below the comment? Yeah, okay. So the relics, that's an acceptable amount of relics for us. Let's go back to not ludicrous. And comment. Didn't save changes. There we go. We are back in business. Now let's scatter a few more resources around. So I've got the hills, we've got the inconsistent lowlands, consistent neutral areas everywhere. That's goldstone forage for sheep. And then we can do the same thing for deer. And we say, 3 deer with a variance of 1, but this is already going to be, 2 to 4, which means we get 1 to 5. Objects. Oh, yeah, sure. So scaling to map size. Something like that we can just do for deer. Honestly, compared to the boar and the sheep, they can be a bit further apart. At that point, we've got all these scattered animals as well. And I think I'm going to remove this area up here. Because then we're done with the player stuff. And we're done with the sort of very consistent neutral stuff, and then here we can be more varying in what we place. Like, I feel like these areas, we're not going to place deer, we have to place some sort of other. Actually, we'll start with the hills. So the hills have gold, stone. We are not going to put berries on the hills. So what can we put on the hills? There's also predators, I guess. We should do predators too. So scattered on the normal neutral areas, we're going to have wolves. So let me take another look at our available options. Of course, we can do forage and fruit bushes. This one has mostly forage except for fruit in the dry areas. Then we have various types of trees, that doesn't matter. Animals, I want to look at. So there are also cows, turkeys go. Oh, there are a lot of things that we should consider here. Deer, zebra, ostrich, ibex. That's still relatively easy. I have to take a careful look. First, we're going to place just generic animals, and then we'll swap them out for the appropriate ones. Let's say the wolf. How many do we want? Number of objects 2. Group variance 1. Yeah. So it's going to map size. And then we're going to say these guys should be a bit further from players. We're going to say 40. Starting to place on, like, if we look at predators here, 35. 35. Keep players on their toes. predators, yeah. Cool. So we got the wolf. Let's just do, 200,000 wolves. Or how far apart do they need to be? I had a lot of things set to 15. I didn't want the deer so close. I'm fine with the wolves being somewhat closer to each other. Yeah, something like that for wolves. Then this section is actually done. Then we're at the hills. So we did consistent neutral areas everywhere. Has consistent resources, or somewhat consistent resources everywhere. Player areas has consistent resources. Maybe I should make sure that we have more starting pigs, because now you can start with 2. Let's go more like that, just to make sure you actually have something to eat at the beginning. Consistent neutral areas everywhere, yeah. Let me coppery separator. Player setup. Bam. Lakes, ocean, here. Put in some dividers. Okay. Good. Connections, objects. Bam. Alright, then we're gonna go player objects, and we'd say player land resources. At this point, I no longer need the description. Player land resources, yeah. Good, we've got our consistent neutral areas everywhere. Means that we are now at the hills that still need animals. So they have... We're not going to have forages. We're not going to have boars. Do we have any boar equivalents that we'd want to place on there? Like, I could place llamas. That would make a lot of sense. Or goats. Should be either goats or llamas on. Let's place goats. If we take the goat code, go into here. DLC goat. Number of objects 2, group variants 1. Number of groups 4. I mean, that's... I kind of... like, the spread of this is a bit too much for goats, so let's see if we did number of we just took something like this. Something like that. Now I don't want 6 in a group, I'd want more like 2 going up to 4. 2 with a variance of 1 only. Do we want a minimum distance to players? I think we still want the minimum distance to players. Like that for hill goats, right? And then we do the same thing for ibex. I would say. We say ibex. It's gonna have to be ibex because all the rest of the creatures are more... animals are more for low, warmer climates. Ibex. I'm missing space. Number of objects, we want more like 3 with a variance of 2. Which means it can be 1 to 5. And I think I want the goats to be a bit less frequent. Something like that. The distance of players, sure. Sure, let's do that with the ibex. Do I want them specifically on the hill top? I also have that option where I can place a different animal on the slopes and on the top. How did I do this with the hill terrain, hilltop layer to say that it should only be on the top layer? I think we'll do that with whatever predators we add here. Because we're not going to add a boar up on the hill. But we could add either a bear or a snow leopard. I think we're gonna have bears. Though, do bears really like living in cold areas? It's just a typical thing to do. The more adventurous thing would be to put the snow leopard up there. I think I'm gonna put... or the wolf, honestly. I put the wolves there and the bears in the warmer areas. No, bears live in mountains too. So we're going to copy more of this goat terrain, I guess. Bears tend to be solitary, so it's going to be number of objects, R&D. Oh, we're going to have 1 with a variance of 1. And we're going to add we're going to say that they should only be on top of the mountains. Something like that, and it's supposed to be a DLC bear. Yeah. The group variants should be able to push that up to 2 though. That's interesting that that's not working. Group variance of 1. Should increase it to 2. What if I make this like 10 on the group? Maybe you can't do group variants on groups of 1. Okay, well that kind of worked. Let's do a group variance of 2 and see what happens. Two bears? Do I want to allow bears on the lower hills? Nah. Usually it's still only 1 bear. Sometimes it's 2. Well, I only saw 1 couple right there. Let's try it again. Let's see now. Still mostly solitary bears. The occasional couple. Good enough, I'd say. Cool. So next up, double check how my still stream. Well, actually, I have another interesting thing. I'm going to check the task manager. CPU. Honestly, my PC is doing great. It's good. Cool, cool. We are in business to continue streaming. So we placed the bear. We have dead trees. I think the hills are fine. There is the option of placing the mountain objects on there. That would be, you know, something like, not that one. But honestly, this stuff doesn't look that great. Unless it's made to fit. It can look alright, but it often doesn't. I think I won't. Oh, the other thing too, I mean, I could, of course, place things like grass patches. Not that many. I mean, this is... Alright, eye candy animals. Eye candy grass patches. Rocks and mountains and sea rocks. Cool. That's just a reminder for myself. I think the hill stuff is done. So once we've finished all of this, also we can go to the needs animals modifier there. Once we've finished all of this, the next step is going to be to do that for all of our different seasons. There's like 5 of those, and just vary the animals accordingly. So we have the lowlands. Let's get a good seed where we actually have lowlands. These are super inconsistent. Like we've got a few... I want one where I actually have a significant area of lowlands. Mostly it's just little corners. We've got a couple lowlands. I guess we can work with this seed. What do I place? So I put gold there only. As I said, stone is more in the mountains type of thing. So in terms of animals, I would say not a cow, not a turkey, geese. The goose is honestly the type of thing that might hang around in the swamp, to be perfectly honest. Cows, it's a bit dry for a cow. Or a water buffalo. This looks like another area for goats. on this specific biome. And then we can put cows on other places. Now there isn't much room here, so it's gonna be DLC goat. Number of groups 2, with a variance of 2. 3? No, we want we basically just want individual goats, I think. Like when I place other things iterated, yeah, we just want one. We can have a variance of 1. The thing with the occasional couples, we can do something like that. Do we even care about keeping them away from players is the question. I did it for bears. I did it for bears and I did it for ibex and goats here. And I did it for all of these neutral res. I didn't do it for the golden stone. Like, maybe I don't need to bother. The wolves I definitely do want to keep away from players. But I mean... just because I'm placing guaranteed wolves, I don't know, should I be keeping it away from players? I think we don't want an absolute overabundance of resources near the players. On the other hand, 30 tiles isn't that far. I think for this area we don't need that. Honestly, we don't really... what is this? This is the neutral areas everywhere. I think for these I will keep it in because that's actually close to the players. For the hills, I don't think we really need this. The bear doesn't need it either because it's only on the hilltop layer. Alright, so we place a goat. Then do we place an ostrich? Doesn't ostrich really have much to... ostrich or a zebra? Place an ostrich, you know what? DLC ostrich. Ostrich. We'll have... each of these groups can have like 3. 2 with a variance of 2, with a variance of 1. Yeah, place an ostrich. Do we place a boar equivalent? Elephants and rhinos would be a bit far-fetched here. Wild boars could be present. We could place a low number of wild boars. Boar. Although then we're going to see, what do I do? Well, I didn't place them on the hills at all. 2 groups. This is hill, 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 hill. We want fewer of them. And we're only going to want individual ones, let's say. Which means that we don't need any of this. I don't want such a high density of boars in this area, I feel like. And then predators. And this could be an area that looks, well, tiger, komodo, crocodile, lion, jaguar. wolf, bear, jaguar, lion? I don't know if this is really a lion type of area. Mediterranean lions died out a long time ago. Crocodile, it's a bit dry for that. We could place a Komodo. Or I could be lame and just place a wolf. Place a wolf. We're gonna take the bear code. We're just gonna use that. Number of groups. Fewer of them. And low map-based terrain, something like that. If I don't want bear, I actually want wolf. Cool. And the neutral animals we're going to place later, like horses and stuff. Cool. So we're on the same seed. We've now got a wolf down here. We've got some ostrich. Good. It's very much coming to life. Okay. Next area. So the animals are done on this one. It's coming together nicely. Alright, inconsistent neutral areas. What I'm gonna do is place all of the animals, except here this is more of a pine area. So we're gonna have to think about how we do this, but we're gonna start with this. Something like that. And that area is not gonna have goats, we're gonna place cows, I think. We haven't placed cows yet. And the cows could fit into this area. Which means we still have llamas that we didn't place at all. But I think we're going to place cows. And as an animal that walks around, it's going to have to be deer on this biome. And the boar, it's going to have to be boar. And the wolf is gonna be bears as well. Yeah, that one's gonna be a DLC bear. Now this area is a very inconsistent area as well, so we'll do that. Then the needs animals tag can already be removed. We are zipping through this now. Swamp. Cool. So the swamp could use what type of animals is the question. Let's get a nice seed that has a good swamp on it. Not this seed, mind you. Sure, a seed like that. So, let's just copy this over for now. Take a really critical look at the animals that we could place. So, we're not going to place cows in a swamp. I want to place the goose in the swamp. DLC goose. We're gonna have these can come in flocks of slightly larger flocks, I'd say. And we're not gonna have deer in there. I think deer aren't really gonna be plotting. They could, like, you could have like a moose or something. They would be in that type of terrain, but I think the swamp is not gonna have this type of huntable. Then boars we're definitely gonna have in here. I'm gonna lower this. We're gonna increase the number of boar that can fit in the swamp. I'm gonna lower this distance as well, actually, a bit. Now, we're not gonna have boars in the swamp. We could have bears. I think we're gonna do the crocodile. And we also need to have the swamp terrain thing, of course. And we can also have a slightly higher density of crocodiles in here. DLC crocodile. Swamps are dangerous places after all. Something like that, I'd say, is decent. If you guys want new music, by the way, let me know. But I thought the Latin would be nice. There we go. So now we have boars rooting around in the swamp. We have not as many crocodiles as I'd hoped for, to be honest. We're gonna go 3 groups, 1 variance. Try this again. And we're gonna do the same thing here. We're gonna say 12. We're gonna allow these things to be closer to each other. Cool, so that's basically it. That's a straggler tree, then we have a fish. I guess I can do a... We did relics. Fish are here. Cool, so I think we've got everything. I need to new seeds. So I think now comes the really fun part. Where we do this for other themes. I guess another option that I didn't consider is I could put like crocodiles on shallows. There are certain terrains right now, like beaches. I could put geese on beaches. Or in shallows. Like geese, crocodiles. This is something as well I should consider. I could put geese and crocodiles on shallows and beaches. Would geese spend a lot of time on a beach? They might. Oh, they might, definitely might. I think that's the main terrain actually that I haven't covered yet. I could put crocodiles on shallows as well. We'll just do it as sort of like shorefish. Let's say DLC crocodile. Number of groups, 10 is perhaps a bit many. Let's do 5. Distance group placement. Alright, we'll go 12 to not overrun the beaches. Also, I should be a bit careful about placing these things too close to players. Although it's a swamp. If you see the swamp, you stay away from the swamp. But for the shallows, I'll say wherever my did I even bother keeping the predators away from players at this point? This code here to keep things away from players. So let's see. The hills, I said bears don't need it. On the low areas, I said they don't need it. On the inconsistent areas, I said they don't need it. In the swamp, I said they don't need it. Let's put it in here again. Well, these areas tend to be close to players. Terrain to place on. Shallow. We have a shallows type, but I might not want it on other types of shallow. So let's just do that for now. Now we should see some crocodiles lurking in some shallows. Yeah, perfect. Not too many, but just enough to, you know, fit the theme. Okay, cool. Anything else that I'm forgetting? Oh, I said I could put geese on beaches. I could do that as well, like similar to shorefish. Terrain to place on wet beach? Yeah. DLC wet beach. DLC goose. Let's try that. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, that's some geese on some beaches. I like that. Then they can also be on little, you know, islands like this. That was part of the reason for doing that. Okay, we're real close to going on, I think, at this point. Because that's... and this is not really fish, this is more like the water areas. Watery areas. Okay. So, let's say we are in fact in a desert map. We have if desert map, else if Mediterranean, frozen, jungle, autumn, Asian, temperate. So if we say it is define desert map. Then I think what I'm going to do is reload the scenario editor. We're not going to do this, we're going to do the editor, there we go. Cool. Also, actually, I think I'm going to change the music as well while we're here, too. let me see what I can dig up in terms of new music. There's a desert. You guys can look at that while I change the music. Alright, VLC media player. Alright. Blues, Viking music, sea and pirate music. Don't have many of that one. Viking, well that's too many. Medieval. Arabian. Let's do these. I kind of like that as a theme as well. Let's see how this music is. Meanwhile, now of course you see that some animals are not in the right places, and that is for us to deal with now. So, I think let's also do, I'm just going to do a little trick here. If, you know, something that's always true. King of the Hill. If villager, there we go. Then we're gonna go plop an end if somewhere right about here. Perfect. Now I can use the magic Notepad++. So my first task, the swap. Swaps are fine. This stuff is fine. Forage. This needs to change. We're gonna call this player forage. Player forage. Yeah. That's what we're gonna call this. Then we're going to go to temperate map and say const player forage, and now this is kind of what I deleted earlier because I wasn't happy with it the way it was then, but now we should be set up to do it properly. So 59 is the player forage and 1059 is the orange bush. So 59 berries. And then we need a thing in the desert map where we're gonna do 1059 and fruit. Orange. Oranges. Oranges. Good. So now, let's use the same seed. Those are now oranges. Perfect. So that's the basic idea of what we're doing here. Honestly, I'm gonna even move my end if. I'm gonna move my end if down a bit further. King relics. Yeah, we're gonna put the end if right about here. Good. The gold, the stone is fine. The pig to start with. Do we start them with a pig in a desert biome is the question. Alternatively, we could start them with a goat. Yeah. I am tempted to still start players with pigs. Pigs are relatively versatile, and you might keep a pig in a desert too. Although you'll definitely keep goats as well, but we'll put goats further out. I think we keep the pig in place. The boar. This is going to turn into player boar. And that's going to be a rhino, an elephant. It's going to be... The reality, of course, is that elephants don't really... Desert elephants... Generally, elephants aren't really in such a harsh area, but on the other hand, boar, not either. I could just not have boar and just replace it with, you know, like a rock. That would be the mean thing to do. I say, alright, your player boar is going to turn into, like, an African rock too, or something. But... let's not do that. Const... player boar. Let's... make it an elephant. Let's make it an elephant. Well, that's not what I should be typing. I should be typing 1301. Elephant. Good. And down here it's gonna be a boar. The boar is 48. Player boar, so this is gonna be 4. Actually, what's the javelina? Let me just Google that. Javelina. It's essentially... it's a boar in South America. I don't know what I'm going to use those. Because, oh, they look the same. I guess I don't really need to. Good, so we did that. Now we should have elephants. Noticing more animals though that are out of place. We'll start with the sheep. The sheep needs to turn into a goat. Player sheep. And same thing here, we're gonna do const player sheep. And the player sheep is going to be... what's it going to be in the desert? It's going to be the goat, isn't it? Or is it going to be like the water buffalo we'll do somewhere else? I don't know where I'm going to do the water buffalo, actually. In the jungle, maybe. Or the Asian map. There we go. Player sheep is going to be the goat. 1060. And that's... actually, I didn't even intentionally switch the music to desert music, but it works. This one we're gonna... that's just gonna be a normal sheep still, like 594. Although, actually, that could also be some sort of cow. But we'll leave that for now. Good, we've got goats. Now we have deer. The deer need to become ostrich. The deer need to become ostrich, don't they, I'd say. Yeah. So same distance here, player, deer. And then we're going to have to do the trees as well. Honestly, we might as well do the... Am I going to be doing the pig on every biome, though, is the question. We'll see. We'll cross that pig when we get to it. Same thing up here. And we do ostrich. With the zebra, I'm going to have to put in the savannah. Zebra, I don't think, is such a desert type of thing. Let's see. Although they do live in dry areas. Once again, I've made a mistake. The idea for it. Stretch. Alright. So our player area is good. Let's do another one of these things. If villager, but we're actually not done with this section yet. I have to think carefully about how I want to handle this with trees. Essentially, I put the same 3 stragglers everywhere for this, like I did oak, pine, birch, pine, oak, birch, olive, cypress, Italian. I guess it's not pine, oak, birch. I guess it's not. Can't do that. Alright, so I'm gonna have to do the stragglers independently. Const player straggler A. Const player straggler B. Depends a bit on how these areas look. But I think I need to do them separately. At least the hills and the swamp. In the other areas, maybe I can just do a common straggler type of thing. We'll try that. We'll call them that for now. So let's start down here. Put them even, we'll put the stragglers here. It's common straggler A. Let's let's try that. Now what did we say? We have oak, pine, birch. So those would be oak tree is 349. Although of course I have the option to put in bushes and other things too, but let's start by seeing if this can do. Oak. Pine should be just the next one, yeah. And then birch is 17. Birch. And what are they gonna be here? Dragon tree, dead tree, acacia tree or something like that. It's probably what we need to go for. Dragon tree, dead tree, acacia tree. So, dragon tree is... This is where we have a lot of tree types, and I could probably do a better variety if I split this thing up some more. But dragon is 1051. Dragon. And we need dead. 1250. Dead, and we'll do acacia. 1063. Acacia. Now we also need to actually place these stragglers, though. You'll notice also I haven't placed guaranteed starting stragglers. I didn't think those were necessary. Players can find their own wood. There's a lot of it on this map in general. Ah, that uncollapsed a bunch of stuff that I didn't really want to uncollapse. I have a lot of themes to still do. Alright, so let's generate it again. Now we should have, dragon, dead. Do we have acacia trees? Occasional acacia trees. We still need to fix the stragglers in other areas, though. Well, the animals in other areas. So let's go and do that. Let's go and do that. So... next section. Goldstone forage. Question once again is, am I going to... Is forage on the other maps? Maybe I can just do a common forage as well. Like, the animals will vary, but honestly... I'll do common and then we might have to change it later. But on this map, I mean, berries could exist too. I think I'll keep the berries in the swamp. And put the fruit bushes everywhere else. There are 2, 3 examples of this. We're going to replace that with common forage. Common forage. Boar. Rhinos live in the desert. Desert rhino. They can. Alright, we'll do what's this? We'll just call this one neutral. For the first area. Yeah, something like that. Const, neutral boar. Honestly, I should replace some of these boars and elephants just with, like, skeletons. Animal skeletons. Just have there be less animals running around the desert, period. That would be realistic. But I'll leave it for now. That's something I can change later. Yeah, exactly. I was looking it up though. And there are pictures of rhinos grazing and things that look pretty arid. There is, a little bit of grass, that's why they're there, but if you look at, I just googled desert rhino or at least a decent number of pictures suggesting that that's not totally out of place. Lions will still be coming, yes. So the rhino is... Also, when we finish the desert, then we can go play something. I think the other seasons biomes we can do later. The rhino is 1139. So here it's a boar, isn't it? Here, actually, I think we just have a boar after all. I could make that a javelina. Let's just do that. That's 882. There we go. Then yeah, got a rhino. So let's see if that worked. We should be seeing some, yeah, we are. Oh, they're basically wandering around in the sand. Really, more of these animals should be concentrated near the water in a desert situation. Yeah. We did this. Right, this can be minimized. We did the... Oh, we have some more sheep that we need to turn into something that are not sheep. Alright, these are gonna have to be more goats. Camels will be coming later. Those will still be added. I think first I need to deal with the sheep and deer, which I'm just gonna turn into. Turn the sheep into a goat as well. I think I'll do that. Neutral sheep, and this. Just gonna turn into an ostrich or an ibex. Let's do an ibex this time around. Deer, and then we can have, for the wolf, we can do that one too. And that's gonna turn into a lion. And then we need to do the trees. So... Elephants are goats with trunks? Maybe. Well, this game has back-drain camels and non-back. It has two types of camels actually. Should be able to. Oh, it's probably under units. Yeah. But it's got both types of camels. So I was gonna do neutral sheep, neutral deer, this is just a name, and neutral wolf. I think that's what I wanted to do, right? If we go back and check. I have to do sheep, deer, wolf were the ones I was replacing, so... This one I said was going to be a goat. 1060. Although currently, what is it currently? Did I just mess myself up? What was it currently? It was currently it was still a sheep. The deer was still a deer. And the wolf was a wolf. Wolf is 126. And now in the desert, yeah, we already did that up there too. I might be able to condense this a bit more. Ibex was... Lion. Other than a lion, I do have some other options. But those aren't appropriate. Those are more jungle or at least near the water type of creatures. Crocodiles can definitely be in the water. 1029. There we go, something like that. Simulator 3. I have not played any of them actually, and I'm happy I didn't play Goat Simulators. I am still noticing some animals that we need to deal with. Namely cows, bears. There's some lions though, that's good. Alright, cool. So... let's grab, okay, common stragglers. I think we can use those as well here. Yeah, these are just the same ones, so... go. Cool, then we put an end if here. Now you can think about which animals live in hills. Okay, we should be seeing less inappropriate trees now. That's basically an ibex. I would say an ibex is about as close as I can get to that. Goats, ibex. In a desert, I think we won't have bears in here. I'm tempted to think about wolves. Yeah, I think we're gonna put a wolf. It could be like a fox or something. Well, I can offer you a goat and an ibex. I think that's about as good as it's gonna get here. Yeah, hill predator. Also, I think the thing that we called neutral wolf, we're going to rename that into neutral predator. Good. So hill predator, and I think it was a bear here. Yeah, wolves work, bears not so much. And other than that, I can offer jaguars, which not just so much. Komodo dragons, tigers, snow leopards, none of that is quite appropriate here. It's gonna have to be the wolf, I think. We'll keep the lions in the other areas. So bear was 486. Bear. Something weird happened here, that's fine, okay. Here we do 126. Wolf. We already did this section. Collapse that, collapse that. Then dead trees are fine on the hill for me. And then we're gonna have to not have snow pine trees up here. I'll find some other tree instead, so we're gonna call this hilltop tree. And actually we're gonna do... I can leave that for now until we have to deal with it. Hilltop tree. That with the trees. And here it was a snow pine tree, which is 413. Snow pine. We could make like a bush or something. About a bush. I think a bush is a good idea. Or I could do like a cypress. Italian pine. I could put a dragon tree up there. I feel like a bush. Bush. Or put reeds up there, but I already have enough reeds in other places. Reeds don't really fit up there anyway. Cypress, Italian pine tree. Actually, let's do 1348. Let's try Italian pine tree. Let's see if that's the one I was thinking of. Pine. Cypress do exist in the desert. Yes. Ah, yeah, thanks for posting the wiki. That does, in fact, have all of the animals that we have as options. Although the camel and so on, I think, aren't being listed there. Oh, they are. They're listed on non-gatherable. Yeah, okay. Let's try... see what it looks like if we do. That's kind of the shape of tree that I was going for. The cypress are the tall, thin ones. That's the other option too. I could do that. Maybe I'll go for the cypress after all. That's one less than 37. 47? 47. Got some cypress trees up there, plus some dead trees. I think that works. Alright, so we have our hill done. Inconsistent lowlands. So I have to find if this map has some inconsistent lowlands. That is this savanna area here. That's a bit more green than the rest. So here... pine trees exist in dry deserts, and well, in certain high altitude deserts, I think. It's easy, you just search, you search for desert pine and you get a bunch of pictures and you realize it looks more like... they have actually different types of options. You look for desert elephant and you see, yes, those exist too. And then you go for, desert turkey, and those probably don't exist. Turkeys in the desert. No. Not so much. Alright. That's fine. Gold. Goats. Maybe we can put something other than goats here. The question is, what would it be? I will do a savanna afterwards as well. Although maybe not today. We need... instead of goats, I could do a cow. Well, it is pretty dry to be having a cow, but maybe one like a brown cow or something. Llamas are more of a high altitude thing. The ostrich... so if we say that this area is more of a savanna, which is honestly debatable, maybe I can put the zebras and the cows here. And we'll have to deal with the boar as well. We can have those be elephants or rhinos. So we're gonna say... and we have a predator here. That can just be the wolf as well, though. Okay. So we have a couple things to do here. Magic of copy paste. Turkey for dessert, yes. The boar can be... This is still the temperate area, so that can be a boar. The sheep was actually a goat. We'll copy the goat code here. Then the... Do I have an ostrich? I already have an ostrich as well. Perfect. And the predator in this section appears to have been a wolf. Except it's still neutral. This needs to be like lowland. Or we'll go with that, yeah. Now we get to pick other animals for the desert version of this, so... The boar is going to become elephants again, I'd say. We don't have so many alternatives. Here we do have a lot of alternatives. So it's going to be... I was considering one of the cows. Like, we have a cow B, C, and D. Let's take a look at the colors on those. A is that one. Black cow? Let's do the brown cow. Cow D. Because there is cattle in various places. Cow brown. The ostrich, I wanted to do the zebra. 1019. This area is sort of a savanna area, although we'll have an actual savanna as a separate biome. Then I think we're gonna have more lions here. Folding back. Wait a minute, I'm zooming too far ahead. This was a lowland boar. No, it wasn't. This is a lowland sheep. Now we have a deer. And boar. Then we have some special trees. Olive, cypress, Italian pine. We can think about trees for there. But do the bears... I mean, you'll find all kinds of animals everywhere, but they probably live like in rocky caves and so on. Gobi bears. Oh, there's certainly a thing. Trees to deal with. Okay. Olive, cypress, Italian pine. It is surprising. See, now what could we find that's even less plausible? Arctic lions. Those might well exist or have existed at some point. I'm looking at trees. $13.49 is what I need first. $13.47 is the cypress. We saw that one before, didn't we? Yeah. And 13.48. Timeline. Now. Those are the trees in this area. I mean, you could almost keep them around, honestly, all three of them. I could put acacia trees there instead of... I can also keep them. I could also keep them for now. I'll keep them for now. Which means that... we can collapse some more code. This is basically an if true statement. What are we gonna call this? Yeah. Like that. There we go. End if. I can collapse this section. Now we have inconsistent neutral areas and a swamp. I guess we have more cows to deal with. And more boars. What did I do before? I could just take the same... what do I have listed here as neutral? Alright, fine. We have one more set of areas where we can pick animals again. We're gonna call these other... this is gonna be basically the same, except if I had a cow, take a normal boar again. Then we had the normal cow, which is, I don't know what that is, I'd have to look it up. That was 705. Pretty sure we still had deer. Probably we had wolves as well, or did I have bears there? Oh, I did have bears. Okay. Where's the bear? Boar, 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 boar. I want a bear, wolf, hill predator, bear. Okay. So now for these animals in the desert. Boar, we can do rhinos again. Then for the cow, we can pick the black cow maybe. Cow black I think was cow C. I have to check that. Nope, I want cow B. That makes sense actually. that one is 1596. And the deer can become more ostrich. And the bears can become more lions, I'd say. Good. So what is that section? That was other neutral sheep. Other neutral deer. Other neutral... Now our animals should be almost set, actually, after we've done this. Other neutral predator. And then common straggler trees, yeah. Good. Let's take a look. So do we have any animals that are out of place now is the big question. It's looking better. The boars can hang out in the swamp, I'm fine with that. Because of those things, it's probably where they would hang out. Okay. Then the swamp can have forage bushes, it can have shorefish, it can have geese, it can have boars, it can have crocodile. The fish. Ah! Alright. Yeah, most animals hang out in the water, especially in a desert, right? In general even, but especially in a desert. It makes sense of a lot of things. Like, you should just put the elephants there, too. No salmon, absolutely not, no. We need a more appropriate fish. So, we have a couple options available. We haven't had to look at fish before yet. We could do a dorado, or a snapper, or I suppose a tuna. Now, if I recall correctly, for some of my other maps, what did I do in terms of fish? We can also birds, but we will do birds later unless we want to do birds now. We could do birds now too, but let's start with the fish. Temperate animals, no. Jungle animals, arid animals. So I said pigs and goats, boars, rhinos, elephants, shorefish. I guess I didn't have many fish on this map. Okay. Dorado. Dorado is a bit of a tropical fish. Dorado. Mahi, yeah, okay. How about just snapper? Otherwise, the tuna's northern red snapper. No, I don't want the star constellation. Tropical temperate. I think that snapper might be a decent choice. You see if any of your knowledge can bite. Alright, I've got other maps to fall back on where I've done this before. Let's take a look at what did I do for something like Hyper and alright. Scroll. Arctic animals, no. Snow animals, no. Alpine animals, temperate animals, jungle animals, tropical animals, savanna animals, desert animals. Okay. I said snappers and dorados. Alright, we're gonna do the snapper, I think. I'm gonna do snapper. Where did I put tuna then? Just to put them in other places. Standard fish type. We can also have. Oh, I just replaced salmon. Yeah, standard fish type. We're going to do that. And we're going to call the standard fish type. Is going to be salmon in a temperate climate. 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Salmon. And then we're gonna do. I also have perch as an option, actually. I think I'm gonna do snapper though. Then I also could turn the shorefish into box turtles. The question is, are box turtles common in the desert? Certainly in like a swampy area I could do them, but desert box turtles. Yes, but then they don't live in the water as much. I think is the problem. I could put them into the swamp. Like if I did second object, we'll call it swamp fish. And then we can go here and we can say fish. And the swamp fish I wanted to make into box turtles. 1, 1. Box turtles. Space. There we go. And then they can just be standard shorefish down here, which are 69. We also could consider if we want to put something other than a marlin, we can instead put a dolphin. And I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to put a dolphin there instead of a marlin. The marlin is basically a swordfish. I think we'll keep those in the more northern waters, and they're probably everywhere, to be honest. So we need a great fish type. And then we're gonna go marlin, 450. Marlin. And then we're gonna go dolphin, which is 61. There we go. I think the shorefish can just stay on the shore. The geese can stay on the... The geese can stay... Something's... I don't have an unfinished comment or something somewhere. There we go. Geese can stay on the beaches, the crocodiles can stay in the shallows. I think all of the rest is fine. The swamp forest upgrade is already set. The crocodile, the boar, the goose, the crocodile can all stay in the swamp. I think I'm fine with all of that, so let's see. Got our fish. Let's see if we have some box turtles in the swamp. Those possibly might be some box turtles. Alright, so I think I'm gonna call it a night here. Yeah, dolphins here. Only in the ocean. Swamp has lots of crocodiles, as it should. We do have a lot of random animals sitting around in the desert, although it's mostly goats and lions. Well, the lions would probably hang out where the other animals are. Yeah, I mean there are you know river dolphins in the Amazon. I mean these are lakes. They're lakes. The actual rivers are small enough that they only have the smaller fish in them. I'm only putting the dolphins in deep water. Sometimes these things are more like oceans. Sometimes they're smaller. Sometimes we have a big swamp. And what we can also do is we can... So we did temperate map and desert map are done. And then we have savanna, tropical, frozen, jungle, autumn, and Asian that all need to still be done in the future. Actually, I mean, temperate is the fallback, right? So those animals will appear no matter what. If I do this... Oh, we have some serious problems. What is that? Why are there relics there? Okay, yeah, these things might still need some work. Let's comment that out again. That's define temperate map. We could also do birds. That's a really easy thing to do. We just go and we copy something like this at the very end of our script. And then we say, what kind of bird do we want to have in temperate area? I think we can have... What have we got? Where's my list of birds? The hawk is the typical thing to do. Well, we could have a stork. We can do a stork. I mean, storks... A lot of these birds migrate. Some of them migrate. Stork? And then... in the desert, we can have as the bird be a hawk. Or a vulture. We can have it be a vulture. Now I just need to quickly check to make sure my maps aren't totally broken. But the temperate map actually is fine. It's now producing a siege workshop. That's no good. I must have misdefined something. Let's make sure the desert works fine, at least. Make sure there are no, relics poking around in the desert. No, the desert is fine. We should have our vultures somewhere. There's potentially a vulture. So now I just need to figure out why it's a mess, what I did wrong with the temperate map. I must have misdefined something here. Alright, siege workshop. Let's see what the ID of the siege workshop is. Siege workshop. 49. Let's make sure I don't have anything that's set at 49. The boar. Why do I have that? Wild boar is 48. That explains it. That's why we have siege workshops everywhere. That's no good. And I copied the mistake over every time too. Now the siege workshop should be gone. I mean, storks like big open areas where they can build their nests in high trees. And most of the birds, other than that, for the other birds that we have available, like a macaw is more of a tropical bird. Hawks can be anywhere, vultures can be anywhere, storks can be basically anywhere that they migrate, and falcons can be more or less anywhere too. Alright, no more stray siege workshops. Now we have a stray whatever this unit is. Alright, did I really make so many mistakes? It's a Huskarl. What's a Huskarl doing here? It's a condottiero. Oh no. 184. Let's see if I have that ID anywhere. Debugging at its finest. Did I make so many mistakes? No, that's not it. Let's try 882. I think I must have an 882 somewhere. How did I mess that up as well? The Javelina is not whatever I made it. It's 822. Alright. Any other unwanted things sitting around? Relics are fine. I think we're fine. Oh, I think we're fine. Yeah. Spotted cows shouldn't be found in the wild. This is true. This is true. I could make this like a brown cow. Don't know how much stream delay there is, but shouldn't be too much. This is the bottom corner. I could make the cow brown. I could do that. Could do that. Because I did have a brown cow somewhere. could do that wherever I have a cow here. No, I think at this point I've actually found all of my typos. Now we have to spot a brown cow. There's a brown cow. Alright. Now I can go and... Now, of course, there will be the wrong animals, so there are going to be tempered animals in all of these places. Actually, they won't be defined at all. I'm going to have to temporarily just define all of this stuff. Just so we can look at it. Define it down there as well. So we can look at the other seasons. So desert, looking deserty. I like the reeds too. I spent a lot of time getting all of this to look somewhat nice. Then we have our, I guess this is like a tropical. This is probably tropical. Where I'm going to have to, well, there are lots of tropical animals to choose from as well. This is the autumn map. Basically like temperate in terms of animals. So I can probably copy the animals more or less. And then for snow we can have some fun. There aren't many things to choose from. But bears are good. We have snow leopards, wolves, ibex, deer can still hang around in a snowy area. Autumn. This one is also autumn. This is our temperate again. I think, what are we still missing that we didn't see? That looks like autumn again. I think we didn't see, we want to see Savannah and Asian still. So what I can do is I can just manipulate these odds a bit so we can see what we want to see. Alright, so Savannah is a bit more grassy. Have a lot of bushes. But here we can have a more realistic variety of animals hanging out. And the swamp, I think I probably just have it looking somewhat similar, yeah. And then for Asian, I think it's just temperate with bamboo. Basically. Yeah, just a lot of bamboo. That will also have similar animals to temperate, so actually there isn't that much more work to do. Still not going to do it right now, but... yeah. There we go. I think I'm going to call it a night. For this stream, at least. So thanks for joining, and I will see you next time.